Hello and welcome to this tutorial on Python. We're using Python 3.6 as always. Today we're going over lists. Now, what are lists? Well, lists are simply a collection or mixture of text and numbers. Or they could be both, or they could be a collection of lists themselves. But what makes them a list is that they are in square brackets. Very important. If they're not in square brackets, then they are something else. Lists are what we call mutable, which means the values within the list can be changed. So let's go over to our Python shell, and we're going to type in our square brackets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to call that simply list. And then it's stored in our shell now. So, very important to know that number 1 here, or the first element in a list, always starts at the origin, which is 0. And then this means number 2 is position 1, number 3 will be position 2, number 4 position 3, and number 5 is position 4. So let's now find a few elements in the list. So if you want to get number 1, let's say, there we go. But let's say if you want to get number 4. There we go. So the 4 is in position 3. So always type in what position is in. How about if you want to get the length of the whole list? Type in length and in brackets. So you get a little help here, but that doesn't help what I'm trying to do. And you get 5. Or we could create another list. Let's call this list 2. Which equals, I don't know, let's have some text. A, B, C, D, E. Text always have to have speech marks or quotation marks around it. There we go. List 2 is now A, B, C, D, E. So let's do the same thing. Let's get list 2 element 1 in square brackets. It's B. And now at list 2, let's get element 4. It's E. So very simple, very easy so far. The hardest bit is probably the length. And we can do the same thing. In fact, let's do that. Length list 2. Notice that the length has got a circular bracket around it. That's because we're calling length, we're not calling the list. So very important to recognize that. Shall I move on? No, let's keep it there. I think that's a good point to end today. It's very short, sharp. That's the whole point of these tutorials, is to keep it short and sharp so that you understand very easily what's going on. I think quite often in a lot of tutorials, you have to work your way through to find what you're actually looking for, and then you have to adapt it to what you want. And that's not the idea of these tutorials. So we'll stick it there, and we'll come back to it another day. Thank you very much.